Hello everyone, we are back with another episode.
That's right. Next come the heavy artillery, presidential more like Michelle, not Hillary. Feel me? Push the whip on the set.
I'm so happy to be back. I'm doing it weekly. I made up my mind. That's it. So I'm doing it weekly. Just want to catch you guys up. I got a new hairstyle. You guys can see that if you are watching, unless you're just listening to the audio. But this week was just so much fun. Like, I was in a funk, I want to say, pretty much since I don't want to say since I started the channel. Because back when I started the channel, I want to say probably like a week or two before I started the channel, that's when I found out that my grandmother was sick. And I chose to start it because I just felt like if you're going to do something, just do it, because there's going to be things that transpire throughout your time while doing this anyway. And me, I'm just a consistent person by nature. And I'm very disciplined, so I said, you know what? I'm still going to start my channel, and I started it. And as you can see, we are growing. I got a microphone, all the good things. So this weekend, over this weekend, I'm gonna just start it from Friday, because Friday I was out at this little spot. I went with one of my best friends. We went to get some food. And you know, a lot of these restaurants and stuff like that, they turn into lounges after like a certain amount of time. So we were there. It turned into like a little lounge, a little hangout spot. And then the drinks just was coming in. Like, we was getting drinks bought for us. We just had a time. Then I went to go see my other friend at the spot that she works at, and that was a time as well. I didn't get home till like 4 in the morning, y'all, and y'all know I'm an auntie. I be tired real early in the morning. I be really tired. So aside from that, yesterday I just went to like this open house to see about possibly getting back in school. I feel like it is something that I want to do, but at the same time, I just have to see how that's going to coordinate with a lot of other things that I have going on. Aside from that, I just had a good weekend. Everything was balanced. It was relaxing. The topic that I want to discuss today is nothing ever comes good from you lowering your standards. So you never gain anything by lowering your standards. A lot of people feel like, oh, my standards are too high. I'm never going to get what I want. It just seems like what I want is not realistic. And what I can say about lowering your standards is that when you lower your standards, it's almost as if, because I'm not going to lie, when your standards are high, you attract people that are going to rise to the occasion and meet you where you're at. When you're lowering your standards, you're going to get exactly what is supposed to be from you lowering your standards. Like, that's like, best example I can give, you get what you pay for, right? So if you buy something that's cheap, you're going to get cheap quality. If you save up to get what you want and you put in the work and you like, this is what you want, this is at a certain quality that I would like for it to be, and you go ahead and pay for it, and then it's working to your liking, everything is going great with the product, and it's just like this phenomenal, great product, you're gonna be happy that you did not go ahead and buy something cheaper that broke down, that stopped working, that is not just up to par. A lot of the times when you think that you're gonna get something not necessarily better, but that you can get something, because you can get something faster by lowering your standards. But this is the thing, this is a microwavable era. Everybody wants some era. I know I said error. I do have a little accent. Era, E-R-A. This is a microwavable era. And a lot of people just want things quick. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to do that. And I feel like you get what you put out there. You get what you pay for. Essentially, if you don't put in the work, you don't try hard enough, you're not going to get exactly what it is that you want. I feel like, yes, you should be reasonable when it comes to the things that you want in life. Like, they can't be anything outrageous, like, because you just, when that's done, so there's a flip side to having high standards. When those standards are outrageous, you end up just being isolated. You don't have a lot of friends. You might not be in a relationship, those types of things. But if your standards are reasonable and they're still high, you can definitely find someone. The thing is that a lot of the times human beings, we get, what is the word that I'm trying to look for? We can sometimes get lonely. We feel like, oh my gosh, where are all the good people? Where are all the good friends? Where are all the good men? I don't talk to people like that in my family anymore because they did crazy stuff. They're acting weird. They're doing this. They're doing that. And a lot of times we just take what we could get. And piggybacking off of my last episode with giving people grace, we're all human. So at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. So you have to keep that in mind when picking your friends, picking your partner, and just choosing to be around certain people that may have made mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody wants to feel like they have to be perfect when they're around somebody and hanging around someone. They want to feel like they can be themselves. So people are going to be perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect, whichever, either or. But give people grace too. Like, people do mess up, but at the end of the day, it's whatever, to the standards you hold them to for what you feel like is forgivable and what's not forgivable. But never lower your standards, because I feel like that just brings shitty people into your life, shitty energy. And if you know your energy is good and your energy is positive, you should want to be around people that are going to exude that same thing and meet you where you're at. So I definitely feel like nothing comes good from lowering your standards. Nothing ever comes good from doing that. And once again, these are not necessarily societal standards. You don't want to feel like, just because this is what society feels like you should be doing, that this is what you should actually be doing. Like, because sometimes societal standards can be a little bit harsh. Like, if that's the case, honestly, 90% of people are not living up to the societal standard, which is you should be married by a certain age. You should have a certain amount of money by a certain age. You should be living a certain type of way by a certain age. You should be driving a certain type of car by a certain age. Nobody is living that way. And I feel like as long as you are picking the people, places, and things that are up to your standards, where you're comfortable and you feel like you're being respected, and these things hold up to your values, the people that you're around have the same core values as you, the places that you're going to are not just bad places, horrible places, holes in the wall where you're just lowering your value overall by even being there. You should never be anywhere at any time with just anybody. You should be very selective about where you choose to go, about who you choose to be around, about who you choose to give your time to. But also have fun in this life. You know, don't be too picky and too choosy and too selective about every little tedious thing, because you still want to enjoy your life. You want to make sure you're out here, you're living, and you're doing things that just bring you joy, you know, up to your standards. But make sure that your standards are not just like bottom of the totem pole low, because that is definitely not a flex. We all want to be out here feeling good, because also when you lower your standards, you don't feel good. And I know a lot of the times too, for women, we sometimes do have a hard time between compromising and settling, especially if you are like a high value woman. Same for men, but I feel like a lot of the time men, they will settle way more than a woman would, but that's a whole other topic. I don't want to get into that. Maybe during another episode I'll talk about that. I just feel like, guys, always raise the bar, set the bar, and raise it and keep it high with everyone, because regardless of the fact, you'll always feel your best and you'll always feel good that you were true to yourself and that you did not let yourself down, okay? Because there are a lot of disappointments just lurking around and just waiting to happen when you do stuff like that, okay? Guys, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow me on all of my social media platforms. So Chanel Show with 3 L's on Instagram. Chanel Show with 2 L's on TikTok. My YouTube handle is Chanel Show with 2 L's. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else. My Facebook, I mean, you could follow me on there as well. So that is my first and my last name. So that's CHANELL. And the last name is RAZO. That's my whole government. I just gave it, but it's okay because you guys are my YouTube family. I had so much fun chatting with you guys today. We upgraded slowly but surely. Last week I introduced the red and white flower background. This week I got the microphone. You never know. Next week it might be something else. Okay, but peace out, guys. I hope you had an amazing week, an amazing weekend, and have a great rest of your day. Whether you're watching this morning, noon, night, you take care and continue to tune in, okay? Peace out.